Community Spotlight, celebrating growth, connection, and collaboration in our community. ATB Wealth, Kelowna. We're proud to support our Kelowna clients as they dream big, embrace change, and shape their future.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to ATB Wealth Community Spotlight. I'm here with Martin Koyman today. Martin, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Rob. It's great to be here.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. So Martin is the owner of Ballsy Productions. But before we jump into that, I was looking at I'll call it your LinkedIn profile. I was going to say resume or LinkedIn profile. You had 29 plus years at RCMP.
Yes, yeah.
And now you produced a film we're going to talk about. So how did that all come about? So I'm curious. Tell us about that background a little bit.
Well, 29 years in the RCMP. My last, 11 years were in drug prevention.
Okay.
And one of the things I wanted to do that was really close to my heart was do a documentary on our current drug crisis in North America. I had a little different spin, I thought, on it, and I thought it would be something that would be very interesting to people and maybe generate new ideas on how to solve this problem.
Right.
So funny enough, where I worked in the same building as the film commissioner for Kelowna, John Summerlin.
Oh my gosh.
And John and I used to talk because I had this idea. And one day a lady was sitting in his office and she told me about a program for wannabe filmmakers, so for emerging filmmakers and newbies. Unfortunately, I don't even remember this lady's name, but she told me about TELUS Optic TV grants.
Yeah.
And TELUS Optic, they have a wing called Story Hive that provides funding for new filmmakers. So I got on that site and I applied and I applied and I applied. And a lot of people have done documentaries on our drug crisis and homelessness. And I guess it just wasn't new and exciting for them. So they passed on me several times. And then one day I was reading the Kelowna Now, and in an article on artificial intelligence was your reporter, and you had an embedded video where he interviewed two people from UBCO. One was a professor, and one was a master's student.
Okay.
And they were talking about the dangers of AI.
Interesting.
And I started thinking, is AI dangerous? And I thought AI was something that just finished your sentences on your phone.
Yeah.
So I got interested, and so I pitched that idea to TELUS, to Story Hive, and that one
got accepted.
That one caught.
Interesting. Yeah. So did you have a background at all in film, or when you were in RCP, were you dabbling at all, or you just had an idea?
Well, my last little bit in the RCMP, I was doing training videos and doing train to trainer. So I had a little bit of technical knowledge. When I was in high school, I participated in a play, and actually friends and I, we made a film as part of our art studies.
Oh, interesting.
So, but in terms of the RCMP, not really anything documentary-wise. I love watching.
Right. So you applied to Story Hive, you get accepted. Did you have to have a full concept built out, or was it an idea at the time when you applied to Story Hive?
Story Hive's really good at giving you templates. So you have to fill out a budget, and you know what your amount is that you're applying for, and then you have to kind of blow out a bit of a storyboard. So you kind of have to have an idea of who you're going to interview, what the interviews are going to be about, what your storyline's going to be, and you have to kind of plot out your episodes, because this was 150 minutes of documentary, which is not a small amount of film.
Interesting. So you got approval, and you're like, oh man, I got to go put this together. Then what do you do?
Correct. You get the check in the mail, and then you start to sweat, because it's like, okay, what now? So what happened was I talked to John, and John recommended an editor named Bill Sharkey. Bill Sharkey is a fantastic editor. He's a great guy. We met. We came to an agreement. I think I way underpaid him. It was more like volunteer service. And from there on, he became my partner. And he helped direct me in every facet of this business. He's had 20 years plus in the business, and just a super helpful guy. He lined up the actors. We actually have actors in this documentary.
Oh, interesting.
And Lily Kay Park, we did a great job. Tanya Keller, Matt Brown, Matthew Shea, they all acted in this documentary, which is a little different for a documentary. And that's what we wanted it to be. We didn't want it to be the same old status quo of talking heads. We want it to be entertaining, informing, and something that would be a little bit more unique.
Interesting. So this film is called AI Beyond the Code.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what it's about. What are the episodes about? How did you formulate the storyboard? Like, tell us a little bit about that process.
So like everybody out there, I actually didn't know very much about AI, and it's surprising how much AI is used in our society already.
Everywhere.
Especially one of the criteria for TELUS is that it's produced locally. So I went around locally looking for things that people were doing with AI. So and I just took different segments of society. So what's our education system doing? So one of the episodes is strictly on how our kids are being educated around AI. And Kevin Cardell, the superintendent of schools, is interviewed in that one. We did it on the business of AI, which was, your realm, and you put on that fantastic course. And it teaches all about, or tells you all about what businesses are doing with AI to improve their business, to make it faster, to make it better. We talk about some of the ugly stuff on AI, about how to access third world weapon systems, and some bad actors in the fraud world that can make you sound like, or make you believe your grandson's calling you for money while he's in jail in Mexico, and while he's safe at home in bed. So we touch on all those things.
Interesting. And when did you actually start filming?
We started filming the process. Actually, I just looked it up. It was July 2023 is when we first sat down to start developing the scripts. By the way, the scripts were all written by AI.
Love it.
The host of the AI Beyond the Code is an avatar. We purposely made the avatar a little clunky. So people, and we named her Artie Intel. And Artie Intel, we made her a little clunky because it was so good that we thought people might not recognize this as an avatar.
AI, interesting. Well, it's interesting because I think even in 2023 to today, the advancements in AI have been like crazy. So you're going to have to make another documentary with it.
It is really, you're totally right. It is moving at the speed of light right now. The juice in AI is just cranked up phenomenally by governments too right now.
For sure.
People 100%. Are investing in it. It's almost like the space race is on.
Yeah, it really is. There's definitely a race between U.S. and China to own that space for sure. So has this launched yet on TELUS or not yet? Can you actually?
Yeah, it launched September 2024. It went on to Optic TV.
Okay.
And that's part of their contract rights, where I own all the rights, but they stream it on their platform.
Okay.
And we're doing a premiere out at UBCO March 26th at 7 p.m. We're going to be airing all the episodes, and it's free to walk in, or you can get a ticket by donation on Eventbrite.
Love it. And it's six-part series. Is that the way it's been built?
That's correct. It's 6 episodes. They're almost all standalone episodes, so you could watch any episode. If you're interested about business, AI, there's an episode for that. If you're interested in education, there's an episode about that. They all kind of connect through AI, but AI is so vastly different in a lot of different areas of society.
So it's interesting from your perspective. You came out of RCMP. You're going to do a documentary on drugs, and then you jump into. Did you have any sort of knowledge of AI when this sort of were you using AI or anything, or did you saw an opportunity to educate what's happening in the market?
That's a funny story. I knew nothing. Nothing about AI, and that's what caught my attention is when someone said AI could be dangerous. I mean, dangerous? How can stuff in your phone be dangerous?
Interesting.
And I didn't use AI at all. And I thought that what, it's going to be a discovery for me, just like every other ordinary Kelowna citizen. A lot of people don't know about AI. They just think it's something on your phone.
Or even a lot of people say they don't use, like you had mentioned, you don't use it. But it's embedded in, like, if you use Netflix, it's powered by AI. If you have a cell phone, there's AI. If you have a laptop, like if you're on Facebook, like all those tools have AI embedded into them already, right? So you're using AI into them anyway. So, so I'm curious. Let's talk a little bit about this. March 26th. I know we want to promote that as well. It's at the UBCO Theater. People can go on Eventbrite. We can put the link in maybe the article as well. And you said it's by donation, or you can show up. We do encourage people to sign up so you know the numbers. It's always good. It's an amazing venue to do that. But you also did some work with UBCO as well, like part of the one of the actual episodes around, like you have some professors from UBCO talking in it as well?
We have a professor, Liana Gabora,
Okay.
and a master's student named Abhishek Ratchik.
Okay.
They're both developing AI platforms, and they're working on different societal impacts. And they realized while they were working on this that there are some dangers to
Sure.
AI, and they needed
Sure.
some guardrails. And they're talking about governments making policy around AI. And we do address that. They are prominently featured in a couple of the episodes because they are the experts,
Yeah.
per se, in the societal impacts
Yeah.
that are going to happen in our world because of AI. So there is an episode that predominantly features them, and there's another episode on the educational aspect, the uses for AI as well,
Right.
in that with ChatGPT and students
Okay.
using that to write their book reports instead of themselves.
Right. Or send in their avatars to the classroom.
Right.
So I'm curious, because you said you didn't have a lot of knowledge of AI. Now you've jumped in and did a documentary. I know, you're in the course we're offering as well. Like, how has your use of AI changed from the day you started your documentary to today? Are you using it on a day-to-day basis? Are you using it more than you thought you would?
So we used AI as much as we could
Okay.
in the movie.
Which is
the
great.
AI
Love
wrote
it.
most of the scripts with the human
Yeah.
involved,
Yeah,
tweaking
yeah,
it the
for
way
sure.
we wanted to
For
do.
sure. Yeah.
The Avatar, we tried to give the Avatar a
Yeah,
sense of humor,
yeah.
which it was not easy to do. So the creative part of AI is not really there yet.
No.
But I do use ChatGPT almost as my search on my internet now, rather
interesting.
than the search function,
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than Googling something.
Yeah.
I use ChatGPT because
interesting.
you get much better answers, and it can help you reformulate and give you ideas on things you're thinking about.
Right.
And that's what I find really in the creative process. You have an idea, and the AI just helps flush it out for you.
It's interesting. It's funny because I'm the same way. I switched from Google to ChatGPT and Perplexity actually for my search engine because I find I can iterate with it. That's what I like. I can iterate with Google. You really can't as much. But so I'm curious. So this is we're going to do this sort of premiere at UBCO. What's next for you? What's on the agenda? Do you have a vision of doing a follow-up in the AI space or other documentaries, or is it a one and done for you?
I really think that AI is going to be something that's fascinating. I would like to do a follow-up, but maybe give it a couple of years so we can really show how far we've come.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm working with Bill Sharkey and another producer named Ryan Thibault.
Okay.
He owns Digital Edge Media here in town.
Okay.
Fantastic person in film. Has done documentaries that are super socially impactful. Very knowledgeable man, and he knows a lot about the film industry. And sitting down with those guys, one of the things in film you have to realize is you need a niche.
Right.
You need to know what your creative.
Yeah.
What do you bring to creative table? Well, I'm not the technical person.
No.
But I do have a business experience, and I do have an inside niche with true crime. So our next documentary, we're working on it already. We're hoping to go to the Banff World Media Festival in June and pitch it to Netflix and Amazon. And it's going to be about Willie Pickton's murder investigation. And it being the largest crime scene in Canadian history. Yeah. So a lot of documentaries have done a lot on the missing women and the families and the terrible things that happened on that farm. But there was a lot that went on behind the scenes and some of the details that have come out regarding the search of that property and how the investigation unfolded once they knew it was Willie Pickton. Not a lot has been documented on that. So that being what I think is going to be my niche, I think we're going to start, our next documentary is going to be there.
Interesting. So did you work on that case? Like, were you actually involved?
I actually left. I left the Lower Mainland. I was in the robbery homicide section in Richmond, BC.
Okay.
And I left in 2000, just before that case broke. But I know all the
people that work,
all the people in the serious and major crime scene that worked that. They even pulled people from the West Kootenays to come and work on that file because there was so many members involved, and it was it was the largest crime scene in Canadian history.
Wow.
So we're working on that. We're really excited about it. We have our interviews lined up, and we're excited to go to Banff in June.
Interesting. I'm curious, back to Beyond the Code, I'm curious what the learnings were for you. Like, because if you hadn't done this before, were there moments where you're like, oh, what am I doing? Or like, what was that learning process? And I assume, like, is the next going to be quote unquote easier for you because you've gone through the process of doing one before?
You know, that's a big one for me. A producer basically is like a general contractor.
Right.
So I hired my sub trades, if you will, the
Yeah.
cameramen. We
Yeah.
had lots of great people who volunteered for this film too. They volunteered their technical expertise for free. Cameramen, sound operators, boom operators, and Bill as well. We helped me enormously put this package together. So my role was more as oversight, budget control.
Got it. Okay.
Learning, and I also was an expert interviewer. So
Okay.
my
Yeah.
part in it was interviewing the people,
Yeah.
and getting out the information as best I could.
Yeah.
And Bill brought all the technical expertise. You know, we filmed in Kelowna Film Studios.
Okay. Yeah.
We filmed
Amazing.
using remote filming with a program called Riverside that works right off your computer. And we also filmed in my garage. You know, when the budget gets a bit tight,
Yeah.
we did the wrap up of AI Beyond the Code in my garage, and you can't tell at all.
No.
And so it was a really massive learning curve. But what I learned is you don't try to do it all. You surround yourself with a great crew, and a crew was great. I can't thank Bill enough.
Yeah.
And then you learn what your role is, and my
Right.
role as a
Right.
producer director will, you know, I'll be getting more involved. But it was a massive learning curve, and I'm sure the next one's going to be a lot easier.
You hope.
Yeah.
So it is the vision for you to do, like, you're not stopping at the next one? Like, is your vision to do more of these films? Is that sort of what your vision is, or kind of just take it one at a time and see where it goes?
No, I love. All of us want to create, you know, documentaries that are socially impactful. That we can take the lens and shift things a little bit and look at certain perspectives differently.
Yeah.
And we want to entertain people, but we also want to change their hearts and minds around things. Because, you know, we all get fed things by the media, and that's huge in the media now
100%.
about fake news.
Yeah.
We just want to bring a different perspective to things that have already maybe been done, or a different perspective to something to show people, you know, how we can change the world. So that, I think that drive is going to keep me making documentaries. We all really love documentaries. We're not, I don't think we're going to delve into fiction too much.
No, okay.
But biopics are not out of the question, where we will reenact scenes and things like that to make it more interesting for people to watch.
Huh, interesting. And then with the next one, you said you're hoping to sell it to Netflix and Amazon, so this wouldn't be a one that you would do through TELUS. That would be a separate approach.
Correct. TELUS has what we call micro budgets.
Yeah.
And I think we did a really good job with the micro budget. I think TELUS was really happy. But when you make a film and you want to make something of quality, you're looking to the big streamers to provide that funding. And that's the way the industry is going. But what's great is independent filmmakers are able to now tap into those budgets, where it used to be totally secured in Hollywood. They're the ones that had the money. They're the ones that control the narrative.
Yeah.
And now independent filmmakers with streaming, especially with Netflix and Amazon coming on, they can provide you the big dollars to make something truly Hollywood worthy, if you will.
Interesting. So how big of a team did work on Beyond the Code? Like, how many people actually, not the people you interviewed, but how big of a crew do you have to put something like that together?
Well, a really decent crew. And in certain filming days, we had 5 to 6 people there. I mean, you have to have people monitoring the sound. You have to have people monitoring what goes in the camera. You have to have a director there that directs the camera shots. You have to have an interviewer there. You have to have people, you know, you constantly have to check, because when you get, it's like taking a photo, you know, in the old days when you took one photo, that was it. But what we're trying to do is we get one shot at a really good interview, and you don't want to miss things like you interview somebody and suddenly you realize the sound's not on. So you have to re-interview, and all that juice from that interview is gone now, because when people have to rehash things, it kind of gets, you know, it's not the same.
You lose for sure.
Yeah.
What if we did a full film documentary, 100% AI generated? We actually just do that.
And that is, you know, I don't know if you know, but just before I did this film, the writers in Hollywood went on strike. And screenwriters, we do a segment on the movie industry and about AI and how it's, even in music, how it's starting to replace, it's replacing the creative ideas of humans, but it never can create anything. It only can blend things. So you could have like a song by Green Day sung by Johnny Cash in the melodies of, I don't know, Elvis. So they can blend things, but they can't come up with anything creative now. But screenwriting, people who have an idea, they can use screenwriting techniques to flesh out those ideas. So there is, you know, there is some concern in Hollywood about
I could
AI,
see that.
and I could totally see a movie being made by AI.
I could see that, especially the animated ones. Like I was thinking, like AI would be able to create that for sure, like above my pay grade. Because even in our course, we talked about audio and video, and we had students submit some of the videos they created, and I was blown away. Like they created a song on Suno, and then they put a video to it, and I'm like, that's pretty cool in like a little 2-week course or 6-week course that we do. So imagine the people that are eating and breathing this. I would be worried if I was in Hollywood, because I could see these tools are getting, I always say these are the worst the tools will ever be. They're getting better every day. So yeah, I'd be curious to see where this ends up in the filming industry. I haven't seen it displace humans yet. I think that's the worry. It's a tool right now. Like you said, I agree with you. Some of these tools aren't there yet. Some are absolutely amazing and still blow your mind in what they can do. But they still need the human. They need the human involvement still. Right?
And we'll shift. I mean, we used to light lamps for street lights. We don't do that anymore, and we put some people out of work. But Christopher Reeve, he's in the movie, and he in the film, and he talks about Club Penguin and how they had a huge warehouse here with people just monitoring the chat room of kids, because you don't want kids being lured out of a chat room. And he created the largest chat filter in the world with AI. And people just move on to different things.
I agree.
And I think that's what. When we created the tractor, we put a lot of farm workers out of work.
For sure.
But I think what AI is, it's the speed at which it's going. Can we keep up with the jobs and shift fast enough?
I agree.
That's the thought.
Well, on the other side is maybe another discussion is we're not having kids as fast as we used to in North America. So there's a thought of like, we don't even have enough people to replace the jobs that exist anyways, the people that are retiring. So can AI help fill some of that gap? Still, people will be employed anyways, because there's more jobs available than there are people eventually. So we'll see where that get to. That's above. Like I said, I'll be long gone when that happens. So, well, maybe who knows? With health, with longevity and AI and health, they're saying we're going to live for like 200 years now. So who knows where we're going to get.
That is one of the special things about AI. I think that's really great. Is my mother died of cancer, breast cancer, and now they have scans that these bots can scan 24/7, and they can detect the cancer better than humans. And there's a segment on the medical industry as well, and it's so exciting. I think that it's really going to help humans live longer, detect cancer earlier. And these advances really do help us live longer.
I agree, and I think that's where, I play in sort of the marketing space, so we're using these tools to do videos and content, but I get excited about the other side, like what it does in healthcare. Can it help detect cancer earlier? Can it save people's lives? What is it going to do to education? Like, I'm excited about what it could help in these other areas. It's already doing stuff in our marketing and agriculture. We have a client a company in Salmon Arm that's using robots to pick mushrooms. Right? Like, so there's, what's it doing to the agriculture space and helping farmers and so forth. So and that's where I get excited. Like I said, we play in this little space of marketing. We're creating blog posts and social media and an image, and it's great. But think about what it's doing, what it could do in a good way to humankind, right? So, and that's where I get excited. So Martin, let's wrap up with, so everybody knows the dates again. It's Wednesday, March 26th from 7 to 9:30.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
That's correct.
You can go to Eventbrite. We can put the link in the article. It's by donation, or you can show up.
Right.
We'll let you in as well. But if you can make a small donation and register, I'm registered. I'll be there. I'm excited to watch. I know Martin's been sharing episodes with us through our course, which is awesome. So the
course is really great too. Awesome. I think that for all you pack into that course, even I'm having a hard time, and it's I know a lot about AI is to use all these tools. It's a really great course.
Thank you. So Martin, thank you for joining today, and I encourage people to, if you're looking for something to do next Wednesday, show up at UBCO March 26th, 7 to 9:30. It will be the screening of Beyond the Code, and we'll see you there because we'll be there as well. Martin, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Community Spotlight, celebrating growth, connection, and collaboration in our community. ATB Wealth, Kelowna. We're proud to support our Kelowna clients as they dream big, embrace change, and shape their future.